Hello everybody, welcome to this next video on the course Introduction to Probability. So in this video we are going to discuss some problems based on total probability theorem. So if you remember, in the last video we have discussed what is total probability theorem. So here we need we can say that okay, so you have a sample space and you have some events, right? Say A1, A2, A3 and A4. They make a partition, mutually exclusive partition of the sample space. Then if you have an event, say A, then you can compute the probability of that event by just finding the probability of say you can do probability of A1 into probability of A given A1 plus probability of A2 into probability of A given A2 and so on, probability of A3 into probability of A given A3 and so on. So you can keep on doing this. So this is equal to probability of the event A. So this was your total probability theorem. So let us do some problems on the basis of that theorem. So here we have one problem that you roll a fair four-sided die. If the result is 1 or 2, you roll once more, but otherwise you stop. What is the probability that the sum total of your rolls is at least 4? Right, so now you are trying to understand this problem. So here you are saying that you roll a four-sided die. So the result is 1 or 2. So you have the sample space of four-sided dice. Either you get 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is your sample space omega for your experiment because you have a four-sided die. So this you can say that okay, so this is your, let me just make a partition. So we have this partition. Here is our event A1, right, and here is our event A2. They are disjoint and their union is whole omega, right? So this is your A1 and this is your A2. Now you say that if the result is 1 or 2, it means that if you have A1, then you roll the die once more. So in this case, you roll the die once more. You roll the die once more. And in this case, you don't roll further. Okay, so what is the probability that the sum total of your rolls is at least 4? So we have our event A is sum total of the rolls is at least 4, right? So my event is like this, that I can do that because A1 and A2 they make a partition. So using total probability theorem, I know that probability of A will be equal to probability of A1 into probability of A given A1 plus probability of A2 into probability of A given A2. Right, now what is the probability of A1 and what is the probability of A2? So here A1 is you get 1 or 2 and A2 is when you roll the die you get 3 or 4. So now you can see that here your probability of A1 is 2 is your number of favorable events divided by number of total events. So this is 1 by 2. And here you have 2 favorable events and 4 is the total number of events. So the probability is 1 by 2 again. So this probability here is 1 by 2 and this probability here is also 1 by 2. Now can you tell me what is the probability of A given A1? Now you see, when A1 happened, then you are going to roll the die once more. So what are the possible chances that you get 1 in your first roll, then you will roll again. So either you get 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. So these are your possible outcomes, right? And if you get 2 also, then also you get to roll again. So these are the possible outcomes, right? And if you get 3, you don't roll. And if you get 4, then you don't roll. So this is your A2. This is event A2. This is event A1, right? Okay, now here you see A is sum total is at least 4. Sum total is at least 4. So here you see, where is your sum at least 4? Here is the sum is 4, here is 5, here is 4, here is 5, here is 6. So these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 favorable events. So you have 5 upon total events are 8. So this is the probability of A given A1. Do you understand? Right. Okay. And now come to this point here. Your sum total is at least 4. That is here only because you are rolling once only. So this is 1 by 2. So out of 2 outcomes, your favorable outcome is 1. So your probability is 1 by 2. So probability of A given A2 is 1 by 2. So now you can plug everything here. So therefore probability of the required event is 1 by 2 into probability of A given A1, which is 5 by 8, plus this probability is 1 by 2 into probability of A given A2. This is 1 by 2. So your answer is, you can just make the calculations. This is 9 by 16. So 9 by 16 is the required answer. Okay. Now next problem. This is an interesting problem. So let us look at the statement that Alice is taking a probability class, and at the end of each week she can either be up to date or she may have fallen behind. Okay, so either she, like after a week we judge her and we say whether she is up to date or she is lagging behind. So there are two cases. And then we have, if she is up to date in a given week, for example, if in the first week she is up to date, the probability that she will be up to date the next week is 0.8. And probability that she will be behind the next week is 0.2. You got it? And then if she is behind in a given week, then the probability that she will be up to date in the next week is 0.4. And she will be behind in the next week is 0.6. And in the beginning, Alice is by default up to date when she starts the class. Now you have to tell me what is the probability that she is up to date after 3 weeks. Okay, you can just pause this video and you can try, doing it yourself, because it is a good problem and you will learn so many things if you do it by yourself. Okay, so there are two approaches I will show you. One is we made tree approach, right? You remember we have solved many problems where we have made branches like this, right? So that is one approach. And then one we will be using total probability approach, total probability theorem. So here first I am starting with tree approach. So I'm calling that U1 because after 3 weeks we have to calculate. So U1 I am calling the event as Alice is up to date after first week, up to date after first week. This is my event U1. And then similarly I am making event U2. Alice is up to date after second week. And then I am making U3, which is Alice is up to date after third week. Okay. And then similarly I am writing A1, B1, U for update and B for behind. Alice is behind after first week. And then we have B2, which is Alice is behind after second week. And then we have B3, which is Alice is behind after third week. Right. Now you see, we can make it like this, that if this is the start of the class, this is the start of the class. So after first week, and here we assume that she is up to date by default. So after first week, that U1, that she is up to date or she is behind. Here the probability is 0.8 because we are given that if she is up to date in the given week, then the probability that she will be up to date in the next week is 0.8. So this probability is 0.8 and this probability is 0.2. Right. Now when we come here, the next week she can be up to date, that is U2. And going from 0.8, the probability that she is up to date is again 0.8. Or she is behind, that is B2. So probability is 0.2. Okay. Now here also she can be up to date or she can be behind. And now you see, if she is behind in the first week, then the probability that she is up to date in the second week, that is given to be 0.6. Sorry, 0.4. And probability that she will be behind next week is 0.6. So that is obvious also, right? So this is 0.4, and here that she is still behind is 0.6. This is after second week. Then next, in the third week, she can be up to date. The probability U3 is 0.8 again, and she may be behind. B3, the probability is 0.2. Okay. So here again she can be up to date or she can be behind. So the probability that she is up to date, that is 0.4, and probability that she is behind is 0.6. And here also she can be up to date or behind. So this is your U3. So the probability is 0.8. And here she is behind and the probability is 0.2. And here also she can be up to date, that is U3, and the probability is 0.4, or she can be behind, that is B3, the probability is 0.6. Right. Now you have to find out what is the probability of U3. That is, she is up to date after week 3. She is up to date after week 3. So you will just trace the path. So this is the node we are interested in. This is the node we are interested in. This is the node we are interested in, and this is the node we are interested in. Now what is the probability for this? This is that you will trace the path back to the root. This is how we have done it, right? So this path gives me 0.8, probability 0.8 into 0.8 into 0.8. Right. Then you have to trace the next path, which is this one. So like this, this, and this we will go. So here the probability is 0.8, 0.2, 0.4, 0.8, 0.2, 0.4. And then the next path, which is here, this, this, and this. And the probability is 0.2, 0.4, 0.8. 0.2, 0.4, 0.8. And then the last path is here. You can go from here, here, and here. And the probability is 0.2, 0.6, 0.4. 0.2, 0.6, 0.4. You can just do the calculations. You will get 0.688. Right. So this is your answer for the probability of this event, that the girl, she is up to date after third week. Okay. Now we can do it another way also. So what you can think of is that when you compute U3, you can assume that your sample space was partitioned by U2 and V2, because there are only two possibilities. After first week, after second week, first week she can be either up to date or behind, and then U3 is an event here. So you can use the total probability theorem and you can write probability of U3 as probability of U2 into probability of U3 given U2 plus probability of B2 into probability of U3 given B2. Right. Now what is this probability? Probability of success, like up to date, when last week also she was up to date, 0.8. And what is this probability? That probability of up to date when last week she was behind. So this is 0.4. So this is probability of B2 into probability of U2 is equal to probability of U3. Now we can compute this probability of U2 and probability of B2. How? We can compute it like this. Probability of U2, now you can assume that you have U1 and B1 and this is your U2, right? So you can write probability of U2 as probability of U1 into probability of U2 given U1 plus probability of B1 into probability of U2 given B1. Right, now this probability is again 0.8 and this probability is 0.4. Right, so you get probability of U2 as probability of U1 into 0.8 plus probability of B1 into 0.4. Similarly, you can also have your B2 here. So probability of B2 will be probability of U1 into probability of B2 given U1 plus probability of B1 into probability of B2 given B1. Right now, this probability is 0.2 because the probability that she'll be behind next week, given that she is up to date this week, is 0.2 and this probability is 0.6. So you get probability of B2 as probability of U1 into 0.2 plus probability of B1 into 0.6. Right. So we can plug this probability of U2 and V2 here. And now what is this probability of U1? Probability of U1 is already 0.8 because that is given to us, and probability of B1 is 0.2. Right, now we have this 1 here. Okay, let me call this equation as 1. And then I'm calling this equation as 2. And I'm calling this equation as 3. And I'm calling these as 4. Now I can plug U1 and U2 from here to here. So I compute probability of B2 from here. And then I compute probability of U2 from here. And then I put it here to compute probability of U3. So you can do the calculations. You'll get the same answer which we have got using the tree approach, 0.688. Right. Now I may ask you to check which one is a better approach. Can you tell me? Can you write in the comment box which one is a better approach? So you see, in the case of tree making, suppose this was when we were computing the probability after third week. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 raised to power 3 final nodes. And suppose I ask you what is the probability of up to date or being behind after 20th week. Then you will have 2 raised to power 20 nodes. And that is very difficult to compute. So this tree approach is not good when you have to go for a long time. Like you are going from first week to 20th week. But in this case, the total probability approach, here you see these formulas. They are same. So you have probability of ui plus 1 is equal to probability of ui into 0.8 plus probability of bi into 0.4. And you had probability of bi plus 1 as probability of ui into 0.8 plus 0.2 plus probability of bi into 0.6. Right, now you can use these two recursive relations and you can use that probability of u1 is 0.8 and probability of b1 is 0.2, and you can write a code in any programming language or any software which will just do this thing recursively again and again to give you whatever you want. For example, if you want probability of u20, then you'll just insert, you'll start from I is equal to 19 and so on, right? So you can go down up to 1 and then you can use this to compute your final results, right? So this is how, there are so many ways to tackle one problem. For example, here we have seen that either we can do it by tree approach or by total probability theorem. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. Please share this video and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.